The first film was difficult because we went from scratch. 400 people, new, brand new, never done animation before. So that was quite difficult. And it took us almost 4 years to do it. But the experience that we have now is huge, I think, and especially Pierre Buffin and all the team from Buff Company. The second one and the third one, I feel much more free. Suddenly I can, move my camera easily because I know the result I will have in a couple of months. And so much more pleasure, in fact, on the second and third. I think we went, one step more, and I'm very, very proud of technically of what they have done to Buffin. I think this French company is in the top 5 now of the company in the world now. On the first one, we discovered the Minimoys through the eyes of Arthur. We know practically nothing from Betamesh or Selenia. We just, get straight to the adventure, but we don't know about their lives. The second one was fun because suddenly we can see what they are doing in their lives. When they wake up in the morning, what they eat, how they dress, what they do for lunch. So it was very, very pleasant to follow them in their world. It's the first time we see inside the house of a Minimoy. There's like plenty of houses, but how is it inside? How is the bed? How is the kitchen? How is the bathroom? And so lots of fun with that. When we see the first one, the couple was already was funny, I think. And I want to build them more because there's material for comedy there. And we really go much often from up to down, up to down, up to down. And we follow Arthur on his journey, and we follow the parents also on their journey because they have a tough time either. Sometimes you even wondering who has the worst time. Is it Arthur at 2 millimeters high in underground, or if it's the parents, because it's also a nightmare for them. The point at the end of directing is to try to forget the camera and think that you're just there with them. If you see too much the movement, then everybody say, oh, that's a nice movement, but I don't think it's so good. So you have to be light and brilliant, but invisible at the same time. So that's the challenge. It's always pleasant, when you do a sequel and then you call people and they just smile and say, yeah, sure, when do we shoot? So to see Freddie again was a big pleasure for sure. He grows so much. I'm so happy that we did Arthur 2 and 3 in the same time because this guy will be 7 foot in 2 weeks. So, he won't be able to, he will be way too big. He's a strong and intelligent boy now. And I think also that Arthur, because now he's rich from his first experience, have much more power in the front of his grandfather or his father. And, he started to be in charge. He started to, he's 12 now, and yeah, he decide. He's not like trapped in something and obliged to do something. Now he decides and he wants to, and he take the decision and he goes down, and so he's bigger now. To see again the grandparents and Mia Farrow, always a pleasure to see her, and she's such a lovely lady. Just a pleasure just to see to go back to the house again in the middle of the countryside, and it was a nice summer. Yeah, there's maybe a little more action, I think, but a funny action because, as I was saying, you see Betamesh and Arthur on the butterfly, and then on the ladybug, on the spider, and they try every type of vehicles. But in the same time, I don't think we lose the poetic part of the film, which I really personally appreciate. It's a real film for the kids. I don't want to forget the parents, but I want to remind them, the poetry they have when they were little. So It's good for the kids because it's full of adventure, but it's also good for the parents because they can have the nostalgia of the 60s and the dresses and the feelings that you have at the time. You know, the friendship, the love, all these feelings were much more pure and decent, and there's no 200 channels and internet and portable phone, and you know, if you want to say something, you have to take the car and go to see the person to tell you. You don't see so much what you're building. You know you're building something because you work every day for 3 years, and it's really only at the end that you can have a vision of the film. And the big pleasure is the first screening when everything is finished, and then you take an audience of 500 kids and you show the film and you see them, you know, screaming, and that's the best moment, in fact.